Hey guys, this is Dino here, and today I'm back and once again I have a brand new story for all you guys. This story would be similar to my original story, which was of course what if Paul challenged the battle frontier. And here too I will pick a character which has been largely forgotten by the Pokemon anime and try to redeem him by giving him his own arc. So just like the Paul story, there is not much to go on as we didn't hear from this character in a long time and this will be more of a fan fiction type with some lore from the game and details what we know from the anime. So without further ado, let's begin. This is Pokemon Journey of Max Part 1. Now before we begin the story, there is just a little thing I would like to clear up. Of course, in the game we know that Brendan is the rival slash helper of May, but here that role he will be a rival to Max instead. And the same case is with Wally. As think of it as Pokemon Emerald, but with Max as the protagonist. And as for where does the story fit in the anime timeline, it will be around the same time that Ash goes to the Kalos region, same as the Paul story. I think the timeline of Generation 6, where there was the Hoenn region and the Kalos region in the console, I think that intertwines perfectly with the story. So, yeah, this story will largely be on Gen 6 and a little bit of Gen 7 mechanics. And of course, there will be some uh, anime ruling which would make it more fun. So, okay, here we go. Pokemon Journey of Max Part 1. Max has recently turned 10, and this meant that he could finally begin his journey as a Pokemon trainer. He was in Petalburg City with his father Norman, brushing up his last bit of basics before going to Littleroot Town to pick a starter. The last lesson that his father gave him was that you should always treat your Pokemon with love and care, as they are your partners in your journey and not mere tools for battle, or pets for that matter. Max Max tells him that he'll remember this as he starts to depart. Just then, a young boy walks up to Norman and introduces him as Wally. Norman tells him that he met his father yesterday and he remembers his promise, which is to help Wally catch a Pokemon. But Norman tells him that there is some timing problem as a trainer would shortly arrive to challenge him for a battle, so he could not just leave his gym unattended right now. He tells him that Max instead will help him catch the Pokemon. And although Max is a bit worried that he would be late to Professor Birch's lab, as he looks at Wally he takes pity on him and thinks that everyone has a right to claim a Pokemon, as he knows what it feels like. So they both depart for the bushes near the Olet town. As they go there, they spend a quite a good amount of time looking for Pokemon, as most of them are in herds or just are too quick to catch without one of their own. As Wally only has one Pokeball with him, Max has to be extra careful not to waste it on a failed attempt. Finally, after what seemed like eternity, a tiny blue head popped from one of the grasses. This is a Ralph's, but there's something Different about it. Wally asks Max if this is a different Pokemon, but Max tells him that no, it is a Ralph's, but it's a shiny version of the original one. He had read in a book that the chances of encountering such a Pokemon are like 1 in 100. Wally is extremely excited and asks Max to capture this for him. Max tells him that they should not rush it as this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and he takes out a Pokeblock from his bag and tosses it to the Pokemon. After looking at it curiously, uses his Kinesis attack to pick the Pokeblock and start to eat it. This gives Max a chance to throw the Pokeball, which, after quite a bit of shakes, is able to capture the rats. Max is happy that he was able to help Wally get his first Pokemon, but just then he looks at the clock. He looks at his watch and realizes that he's 2 hours late. to Professor Birch's lab. He bids farewell to Wally and immediately makes a sprint for Little Root Town. As he arrives to Little Root Town, he immediately rushes to Professor Birch's lab, and there, to his horror, he sees as as another young boy picks the Trico. He he immediately runs up to Professor Birch and tells him that if there is another Trico available, but the boy sm- but the boy starts to laugh and tells Max that this was the last of the lot, as he was too late to get one. This arrogant attitude immediately turns off Max, as he asks who he is. Professor Birch tells the boy to behave himself and introduces him as his son, Brendan, who recently returned from the Sino region after an internship under Professor Rowan. He, however, tells Max that he does not deserve the Pokemon, as in order to be a champion, discipline is must, and he is led, which shows the lack of it. Max ignores this and asks Professor Birch if Torchic or Mudkip are available, but Professor Birch tells him that because he's late and because there were so many trainers waiting in line, he had to give away the Pokemon he had. Max is disappointed by this, and although Brendan taunts him further, he is just too disappointed to respond to him, as he makes his way back to the Wallet Town Pokemon Center. Now he had to wait for 2 more weeks before the next batch arrives. As he as he rests up in Wallet Town's Pokemon Center and departs for Petalburg City once again, and a certain someone starts to follow him on his way back home. As he goes to Norman's gym, he asks him how the battle went. Norman tells him that it was a fairly easy battle, as the challenger had almost nothing for him, and compliments Max on his choice of something different rather than the three starters. Max asks him what is he talking about, and Norman tells him that the Ralts that is beside him is his Pokemon, right? Max is immediately shocked by the question as he looks down and finds the Ralts. After a while, Max realizes that this is the same Ralts he encountered when accompanying Ash and his friends on his journey, and and after realizing that he made a promise to the Ralts to come back for him, Max is overjoyed to see him again. Ralts is extremely happy as he immediately accepts Max as his trainer. Norman congratulates him and tells him that although he knew that he wanted to pick Trico, Ralts is a great Pokemon in itself. Just then, someone else arrives. This is of course Brendan, and he's with his Trico. He tells Max that he's glad he was finally able to get a Pokemon, but after further examining his rants, he tells that this is a weak link, but it suits Max, as Pokemon and trainer are mostly alike. This angers Max as he challenges Brendan to a Pokemon battle. Brendan of course accepts this as the gear up for the battle, because because Ralts has a limited amount of battling experience, and while Trico is completely novice in that part, this is a quick battle as Ralts is able to use his Confusion attack to completely neutralize Trico and defeat him easily. Max tells Brendan that if his head wasn't too big and he focused on training on his way to Petalburg City, he may have had a chance to defeat him. Brendan is extremely pissed off at this and tells Max that next time he faces him, he will destroy Max. Max tells him that he is always welcome to try, as this officially begins his Pokemon journey. The next spot Max travels to is of course the Petalburg Woods, and there he catches a Shroomish. He realizes that waiting for Trico is a lost cause in itself, as he may never encounter the Pokemon again, and because the first gym is of course Rock type gym, he needs a Grass type. After training for a while and looking for some more Pokemon, he finally arrives in Rushboro City. There he greets Roxanne outside the trainer school and asks her for a battle. She tells him that she is available tomorrow, and Max accepts this. That night he trains with his Pokemon, teaching them new moves for the battle tomorrow. The next day, they are at the gym as Roxanne welcomes him and tells him that she remembers him when he came to the gym with Ash, and she is looking forward to the battle. Max tells him that that the feeling is mutual. As the start of the battle, with Max sending out Shroomish and Roxanne sending out an Anorith. Max is surprised at the fossil Pokemon as it is rare to see one so early in someone's journey. The battle begins as decide Max orders Shroomish to go for Stun Spore, which paralyzes Anorith. However, Anorith is able to connect with a Fury Cutter, and the thing with Fury Cutter is that its power grows with successive use. But fortunately, the Stun Spore comes in handy as it paralyzes Anorith in the next turn. Max orders a Leech Seed which slowly and slowly starts to suck the health out of Anorith. A few more Fury Cutters land, but Max but Stumish uses Absorb to heal more of its HP, and this continues as Anorith is unable to keep up and is defeated by the Mushroom Pokemon. Next, Roxanne sends out her ace, Nosepass, and although his HP is completely healed up, Shroomish is visibly tired after the long battle with Anorith. Max once again orders his Stun Spore, which hits this time. However, this gives Nosepass a chance to connect with a Rock Tomb, which instantly knocks out Shroomish. Max realizes that the Nosepass is at a very high level and he needs to play this smart. He sends out Ralts next, as he orders a confusion attack. Nosepass dodges and tries to connect with Rock Tomb, but it's paralyzed by the effects of Stun Spore once again. Max, sensing this opportunity, orders Ralts to use another confusion attack, followed by a Kinesis. Both attacks hit, causing a great amount of damage. This continues as Max orders a magical leaf, which was his secret weapon for this battle. It connects, but Nosepass is able to connect with a Rock Tomb, which lowers Ralts' speed. However, because Nosepass is paralyzed, he is unable to act on this opportunity as Max orders Ralts to use another magical leaf followed by another confusion attack. This combo proves too much for the rock Pokemon and it's defeated. So Max wins his first battle fairly easily. Roxanne congratulates him and tells him that they should battle again when Max has grown a bit more stronger. Max is, however, is overconfident as he just won two battles back to back with relative ease, and tells Roxanne that he would return soon enough as he intends to challenge Broly of the Buford gym right now. Roxanne tells him not to underestimate Broly, but Max is too overconfident right now. Nevertheless, Roxanne hands him the stone badge and tells him and wishes him best of luck in his upcoming battle. Max thanks her for the battle as he departs once again for the Petalburg Woods to catch a ferry to Default. And that will bring us to the end of the first part. Thank you for watching, guys. Keep a lookout for the next part and and part 4 of the Paul story will be dropping in really soon. So stay tuned for that. Thank you. God bless.